bring in Zach Womble now. Main Street Preps does a great job covering high school athletics. Zach, good morning to you, buddy.
Good morning, Joe. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Listen, I cannot believe this is week 11 of high school football. This is absolutely flown by. Is that just me? Am I feeling that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're exactly right. I put in my column this week that's going to get posted on Main Street Preps any minute now that, there's several gifts out there, but there's one in particular of a gentleman kind of looking like in disbelief. Like, what? And that's kind of my feeling this morning as I wake up with the last week of the regular season. Just it's flown by so fast, but it seems like it flies by every year so fast, but particularly this year. Yeah, I mean, week 11, here we are. We got a lot of critical games going on in the mid-state, so excited to see what shakes out tonight.
You know I think you guys do a fantastic job. I'm a huge high school football fanatic, athletics, and I think you guys at Main Street Preps do such a great job, Zach, because you tell stories, man. You just don't report scores. You tell stories. I think that separates you from just about everybody else. And you guys do fantastic work.
Well, we appreciate that. And yeah, we have a great team of reporters. What Dave Gould has done over these last several years, bringing in such great employees to his company to get the message out that, high school sports are still important. Telling these stories are still important. And, that's just what we do. That's what we like to do. And, we just appreciate the recognition from it.
What game are you hitting tonight, Zach?
So I will actually be myself and Russell Venozzi will be making the trip to Chattanooga for this weekend's soccer championships. I will not actually be at a high school football game for the first time in for a while, Joe. But that said, we have the biggest game in the county covered tonight, which is Gallatin versus Clarksville. This game is going to determine who the 3-4 seed is in Region 5-6A, the region that matches up with the Cane Ridge region. And conversely, John Overton and Smyrna will play tonight to also determine the winner and the loser, or excuse me, the winner of Gallatin Clarksville, where they will go for the 3 seed. Of course, the 4 seed will go to Cane Ridge for their first round matchup. But yeah, a lot of big games, none bigger though in the county than that one. But also too, I don't want to forget about, and it's easy to because I don't cover White House on a weekly basis, but they've got maybe the biggest game in not just the county, but the mid-state and their rival in White House Heritage tonight. I absolutely love rivalry week, the last week of the season. I wish more high school teams would do it, like Beach and Hendersonville, or Gallatin Station Camp, or a Pope John Paul and Father Ryan, Westmoreland, Portland. I just like the rivalry games the last week of the season. I get why coaches don't want to do it because you want to put your biggest game of the season at the front, when you're the most healthy in theory. But there is something about closing out the regular season against the school that you see so often, whether it be at Kroger, whether it be at church or whatever. I just think there's something to be said for playing your biggest game of the season the last week of the year.
I totally agree. And Zach, I'm looking at your record for the first 10 weeks, overall picks. You're hitting at a 72% rate. That's not bad, buddy.
It's not bad, but it's not Brady, who's up there at 76. He's done a marvelous job stepping in this year. This week I knew I couldn't catch Brady, so I wanted to take a couple chances, which I've already gotten Montgomery Central Pearl Cone wrong, which, most people pick Pearl Cone, obviously. But I thought, you know what? I heard a really great quote from Montgomery Central that Brady dropped on our Coach Speak pod that you can check out on mainstreetpreps.com, where Montgomery Central said it's the big 4 in this region because he felt like coaches and fans were forgetting about the Indians and sliding them. And they showed last night that they can hang with anybody, losing only by 8 to a very talented Pearl Cone team. So while I did get that pick wrong, Montgomery Central does look like a tough out come playoff time.
Yeah, it was. They would say Pearl Cone won last night, which I wouldn't have fan them playing on Thursday night, but I understand all that goes on. Zach Womble joins us. Main Street Preps is happy. So with the games tonight, in the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of – I wrote this last night, Zach, and you understand this well. There's a lot of kids playing tonight that after tonight, their teams are making the playoffs, seniors that'll never play high school football again. And all the work, all the years, and, some have asked, was it worth it? And you cover these kids. It's absolutely worth every second they put forward, even though they're not advancing on in the playoffs. But, Zach, you see their passion and the parents and the bands, everybody on Friday night. It was worth every second, I think, for these kids to play high school football.
Oh, 100%. And that was a great column by you. You can check that out on Joe's spot. But and if you haven't read it, I encourage you to do so because he is exactly right. It's the nail on the head. It's 100% worth it. It's 100% worth it going through the 2-a-days, the tough days when your friends are at the lake, like you mentioned, and you're out there sweating
Right.
You're in the weight room or after a tough loss, after a big win. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's 100% worth it for these guys. And if you talk to them and you just spend any kind of time around them, they will exude that and they will tell you that it's the best time of their life. And while they may not realize it, maybe in week 3, they certainly, when they get a chance to reflect on all that they get to go through and all that they do, they certainly realize that. And, here in Sumner County, when you got a coach like Chad Watson, who's taking his seniors out and buying them suits.
Yes.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to play for a guy like that? Or why wouldn't you want to play, organized sports to get experiences like that, to build relationships like that? There's a lot of people that will tell you that their high school coach is their second father or maybe even their first father.
Right.
And so it just means a whole heck of a lot to play high school sports and just to be in that team setting and to be around those guys that you battle with every day. I mean, because a lot of times you still keep those friendships 10, 20 years down the road, and it just means so much to you. And I know playing high school athletics myself, it was worth every second. And like you said, you hit the nail on the head. So if you haven't had a chance to read Joe's column, I suggest that you do that.
Oh, you're nice, Zach. Thank you for that. I just know that you understand it because you're with these kids every single day and you see what happens. Hey, I know in Sumner County, there's Gallatin, everything, Station Camp, but Hendersonville, after starting out against Oakland when they lost the opening game and Oakland had their way with them, I'm thinking, oh, well, here we go again. But what a team that Coach Beasley's put together there this year.
You know what? All Hendersonville does is win region championships ever since I've been around. 3 in a row this year. Like you said, what James Beasley has done has been remarkable. Coach Beasley is a former commando himself. He was on the staff under Bruce Hatfield, learned under him, Bruce, of course, being now at Tennessee Tech. But what Beasley has done with this team is remarkable. And, it seems like he does it every year, right? Because they play Oakland for at least the last several years, the first week of the season. And I asked him, why do you do that, Coach? Because there is an opportunity. If you get beat bad, you kind of lose morale a little bit. But it's been the exact opposite for Hendersonville. And I think you got to credit Beasley for that because it shows them where they need to get to, right? Because Oakland has kind of been the gold standard and not just 6A, but all of Middle Tennessee football for so long now. So you kind of see where you have to go and what you have to get to. And he's done a really good job of painting a positive message. But, hey, I'm very high on Hendersonville. And I have been one to say that I think they're going to make it all the way to the semifinal round. They're going to welcome in Summit in the Class 6A playoffs and the Wade brothers in Destin and Keaton Wade, where unfortunately I think their season does come to an end to the eventual state champion Summit Spartans. But, you cannot overlook what Beasley and Hendersonville has done over these last 10 weeks, especially, after week 1 getting blown out against Oakland, quarters 2 through 4, they just weren't themselves.
Right.
And have been completely different football team since then. I expect them to win with East tonight against West Creek, get their starters out of there early, and kind of rest up for their first round matchup next week, I believe, against Lincoln County.
It's going to be fun. And Zach, again, I love the fact that you're headed to the high school soccer championships down at Chattanooga. I think that what you just said there, that encapsulates what Main Street Preps is all about. We love football, but there's a lot of parents and grandparents and coaches and kids and, everybody else that are interested in this. I love the fact you guys are going down there to cover this because trust me, coming from the TV background, we wouldn't spend a second doing this.
Yeah, it's very important that we let everyone know that we care about all the sports, right? And it's we obviously love football and we know football is a moneymaker. But like you said, there are a lot of people out there that care about soccer, and the coaches, I know they appreciate it. I mean, I've texted several, and they just, they're just excited to get the spotlight, to get the limelight, if you will. And Russell and I are going to go down there, and we're going to, it's going to be nice having 2 people there, right? Because one can shoot video, one can shoot photos, one can focus on a feature angle, one can write the gamer and kind of just encapsulate everything. And so, we're really excited about going down there and, having Merrill Hyde, a Sumner County team, in the state championship on Saturday certainly helps. But we've got teams in both private school matchups this evening at 4 and 6:30, and then we got the A and AA matchup. So 4 soccer games. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're really looking forward to it.
I love it. Zach, great job, man. I think the world of you. You do a great job covering everything athletics and high school. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you down the road, buddy.
Joe, I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Very good. Zach Womble, you can read him at mainstreetpreps.com. Again, they do fantastic work.